Hi, I'm EHoltzclaw, author of Laddering, Unlocking the Potential of Consumer Behavior, and I'm an expert at why customers buy. And I'm passionate about working with companies small and large to help them truly understand their customers better so they can establish authentic relationships and create successful products, services, and marketing messages. This passion is the reason that I wrote the book, Laddering. I wanted to share the lessons I learned over a decade of talking to customers one-on-one and teach others the techniques they need to better understand their customers. I realized that writing a book still wasn't enough. That's why I decided to create this training series, so I could reach as many people as possible and answer as many questions as possible. If you've been subscribed to my Wednesday Answer, hopefully you found some value in those, and you'll find equal value in the training that you're about to receive. In today's training, I'm going to cover an advanced technique with you I called the DNA Game Changer. And this is the results of what you learn when you do a laddering exercise with your customers. You get down to the core drivers that motivate your customer to buy your product, use your service, or to react to your marketing message. I'm going to give you examples of what those DNA strands look like, and you can start to figure out which ones you think would apply to the product or service you might be building. During my research over the last decade, what I found out is that there are certain things that are really important to the consumer that are not the things marketing and product managers typically look at. And I call that consumer DNA. And there are 12 strands of consumer DNA. Depending upon the context, the product, or the marketing message you're building, some may be more important or less important to your specific needs. I want to give you 3 concrete examples of consumer DNA and how consumer DNA is different from segmentation or demographics that marketers typically rely on to build their products, services, or marketing messages. The first consumer DNA strand I want to share with you is customers that project versus don't project. Now, when I talk about project, I talk about people who like to talk about themselves. And when I talk about don't project, I talk about people who actually want to be more quiet. And why is that important to the products or services that you're building? Well, in today's world where social media is so important and we want to share technology into everything that we do, you need to understand if your customer group really cares to project what they're doing. It's easy to identify customers who project. They're the ones that you see on your Facebook wall all of the time. They're telling you everything that they've eaten that day, where they went, how they've shopped, those types of things. It's not really because they're trying to tell you those things as much as they're looking for affirmation from you that they're important in your life and that you're going to be included in some of their experiences. For people that don't project, what they prefer is to meet people in person. They like to hang out at the bar, go to a baseball game, and they typically are hanging out with friends that they've been friends with forever. They don't understand why you would use social media to share information about yourself. So if you're building a product or service and your group doesn't like to project, it may not matter that you include any type of social media channels into that product at all. The second DNA strand I'm going to talk about is authentic versus artificial experiences. There are some consumers who care more about authentic and others that care more about artificial. Consumers who want an authentic experience want to do what the locals do. They want to go to the same restaurants, hang out in the same places, and shop in the same stores. They want to experience the language and the culture in an authentic way. Someone who is into an artificial experience wants to play it safe. They want to go where all the other tourists do, and they want to check things off of their guidebook. Places they've been told to go, places that they know are safe, and places that they should experience. This DNA strand is one of the most important DNA strands because if you build a marketing message that doesn't resonate with the authentic group, then you'll never get them. You can't take a message that's meant for the artificial group and use it for your authentic customers. One of the most important reasons that you want to start your laddering exercise very broadly is you want to understand your consumer as a whole. What are the outside influences that are important to them and how do they react to those influences? That leads me to the third DNA strand I'm going to talk about today, which is, does the consumer have friends that are like them, or do they purposefully pick people that are not like them? And if you just start within your context and ask a customer questions and you don't understand who their friends are and who influences them, you're going to miss this. So you want to make sure that that conversation is broad enough to pick this information up. People who have friends like them want to go to the same parties, participate in the same brands, and maybe visit the same churches or social groups that their friends do. They find safety in numbers and they're looking for affirmation in what their friends do and their friends' acceptance. For people who have friends that are not like them, they're looking for intrigue and for interests that are outside their own. They actually like the challenge of sitting down to dinner with someone that may not carry the same political affiliation, may not come from the same background, because they want to learn and grow within that relationship. and they sometimes use that as a badge of honor, that they're collecting friends that are not like them at all. This DNA marker is a good indication of how safe the consumer wants to play it. If they don't have friends like them, then they're open to adventure, new things, new experiences. They actually crave those types of things because they want to share them with their friends. If they need to play it safe, then the marketing message or product needs to feel like something that they're already familiar with. They're not willing to kind of step outside the bounds. As a marketer, this DNA strand is very important to understand how to reach your customers. Do they tend to have friends like them, or do they tend to have friends that are not like them? That's going to drive your overall marketing message. If you think about a company like Trader Joe's, they tend to go after customers who have friends not like them. That's why they still use a paper flyer to send out their advertisements and drive people into the store. And it's also why they carry quirky products that are sometimes on the shelves and sometimes not. It becomes a scavenger hunt and something that they can share with their other friends. On the other side, products like Coach or Coke rely on people wanting to belong. They want you to be friends with their brand and think about others that are drinking that as part of that friendship. As I said at the beginning, I've only shared 3 of the 12 consumer DNA markers that you learn if you follow the laddering process. If you've enjoyed the videos, please visit my website and sign up for my self-directed training. I teach you the techniques and the process by which you can follow to understand your consumer's DNA and build products, services, and marketing messages that will be successful and move you into the new economy. Thank you, and I look forward to learning more about you and your company in my training.